Okay, so after a bit of a hiatus, we're in the middle of Motzai Shabbos. So just to recap, I know I don't remember what we did 2 months ago, but Shabbos morning, we uh, we went back to Motzai Shabbos. We learned that in general, what happens on Motzai Shabbos? We feel Motzai Shabbos is the end of Shabbos at the very best. At the very least, we feel that you know, we have that feeling and move on. So what the Biyam Darkecha taught us is that Shabbos begins on Motzei Shabbos. That we have to totally reorient ourselves. We're not just concluding Shabbos. No, we're leaving from the high of Shabbos. We're now taking that feeling and we're trying to bottle it to go into the week for what? For the next Shabbos. And what he explained to us is something incredible, is that instead of every week having a Shabbos, and he said sometimes people, the better Shabbos they have, the worse Motzei Shabbos they have. Why? Makes a lot of sense. You had a beautiful Shabbos. It was Gishmak. Maybe you felt a bissel like Kadosh Baruch Hu. Maybe you felt a little bit ruchni. You felt a little spiritual. And what happens Motzei Shabbos? The whole thing crumbles. So he says the avodah is to take the Motzei Shabbos and realize that I want to bring it into the week with me. And the reality is, we're gonna pick it up from Isaiah and Avodah Lamaisa, but just one. I want to go back to Ice Gimel for a minute. It's a very important line, and really the line of Ice Gimel, I think, is the line. Hashem Yisparach Itach. God is with you. And he says the following startling line, and I think it's one of those things that if you just think about for a few moments, it will change your life. Ve'imrak yeda adam. If a person only knows as hasoid as this side, what side? V'yavin, and he understands. Hashem Yisbarach lo ozev oti. Hashem does not leave me. Va'oiroi nishar iti, and Hashem's light remains with me. Be'oisei oifen b'diuk. At that precise level, then huyachlis gabra lakushi. And he says that's what we have to take with Shabbos. I was thinking we're an El. What does it mean that Hashem is with me at that level? So what that means is the reality is, we know Shvisa Hashem Lenegdi Tamid. The reality is Hashem is everywhere. Hashem is here, Hashem is there, right? Uncle Maishi. Hashem is everywhere. The problem is we don't feel it. Why not? Because we live a physical existence. We live in a world of Gashmias. And therefore, in that world, it's hard to feel Hashem, which is for sure true. But at what level is the reality? That's what he just taught us. What's this side that Hashem is really right next to us? How right next to us? So he's saying the level of Shabbos is the level of closeness. So just to paint a little bit of perhaps a deeper picture, you know what the level is? Let's think of the most connected we ever feel to Hashem. The most palpable God feels. So to me, I go Yom Kippur, I go Ne'ilah, I go gates are closing, I go that final Shema Yisrael, the Baruch Shem, Hashem Olakim, that moment that perhaps the whole year is the one moment that you feel a little bit of a tangibility of God. That feeling, that's the reality 24/7, 365. The problem is, we live in a Gashmias existence, and the world covers it over. And the Teva, and the nature, and the physicalities, and the work week, and the Nisyanis, and all the issues we have cover over layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. But if we realize that level, that deep connection, that neshama that we feel, that Hashem Yisbarach Itach, that's what it is, makes everything so much easier. So he's pulling it into Shabbos and he's telling us that whatever that level of Shabbos is, don't feel, oh, you go into the week and now you lose it. No, the level is there. And he continues and he just explains this. You know what it is? It's the lights turned off. If we're sitting in this room, and if anyone ever went to the blind museum, and it's so dark that you go like this and you can't see right in front of you. Does that mean your hand's not in front of you? Of course it's there. If someone's sitting right next to you and it's pitch black to the level that you can see the guy next to you, does that mean he's not next to you? Of course he's next to you. Hashem is right there. We just can't feel him. It's dark. So the avodah Motzei Shabbos is to realize that as we go into the work week, as we transition from Kedusha, from sanctity into work, as we go from Ruchnias to Gashmias, as we go into a week that we're going to have trials and tribulations and money and health and all the different issues in the world, as we walk into that reality, we realize, wait, it's not pshat that God is being left in Shabbos and I'm going into the work week. No, the lights are just turning off, but Hashem is right there next to us. And then he says, so what's the Avodah Lamaisa? So what are we supposed to do? Zu Avodah Seinu b'Motzei Shabbos Kodesh. This is what we're supposed to think on Motzei Shabbos. Lahamshich, to continue. Ulahachzik. I'm sorry, I skipped. I flipped to page 9. I'm sorry, thank you. Lahamshich, to continue. Lahachzik, and to strengthen Bahakara with this recognition. Ubedevekis, and with this connection. Vayichon, and the oneness. Shezachinu lahargish lahasik b'Shabbos. Whatever that level is, whatever that moment of connection to Hashem is, you know what? Maybe it's a moment of Shema Nasrei. Maybe it's a moment of Shema Yisrael. Whatever that moment is, take that moment and to live with it the whole week. This is called lahashir l'chol hashvuas and neshama yisera, to keep that neshama yisera, to keep that extra little bit of sanctity with you always. And if you're able to do this, you're not going to fall to sadness, you're not going to fall to darkness. You're going to be full of desire. Why full of desire? You're a soldier going to battle. The soldier going to battle, he knows it's going to be challenging. He knows it's going to be difficult. But what does he want to do? What does that mighty soldier want to do? He wants to show, I've been training my whole life. Opening season, day one, what do you want to show? You want to show I'm ready to play ball. I'm ready to play. You want to show how strong you are. Kach anu roitzim. That's what we desire. Laharis, to show Lashem Yisbarach Hashem Nuseinu, our incredible work. Shanachnu devekim by, we're connected to Him. V'chayim mitoy, and living with Him. Gam bizmanei hastara, even the times of darkness. Now this line is a deep line, which of course, whenever one is in a moment of hastara, a moment of darkness, is very hard to think about. But what he just taught us is that if any time one is going to a matzav of challenge, in any form, it could be health, it could be parnasa, it could be children, it could be anything in the world, a challenge. What are we supposed to view the challenge? We're supposed to say, hey, I'm ready for this. I got this. I've been training my whole life for this. I may not feel that way. I might feel like I'm about to collapse. I might feel like I'm about to crumble. I might feel like the whole world is crashing down on top of me. I may feel Motzei Shabbos, Ayvei, the work week. I don't even want to look at all the emails. I don't want to look at all the bills. I have no clue what I'm going to do. That's might how you feel. But we have to remind ourselves that what are we really? We're really the Chayal. We're really this incredible soldier. And we're ready to do battle. And with that feeling, then we could pump ourselves up, and then we could go do battle. Let's say you don't feel it. You feel downness. When you understand, as we learned, it starts in the intellect. Let's not make the mistake. It doesn't start in the lave. It starts up here. We have to think about it. We have to conceptualize it. We have to discuss it. We have to realize this. So you realize how deep it is, how incredible it is. Then you'll be able to be strong. Bidvekis, with a connection, an internal connection. With a true decision. So important. Don't be bewildered. Don't be in wonderment when you have a certain feeling. Don't say, hey, it's Motzei Shabbos, I'm ready. Why do I feel down? No. You might feel down, and you might have the nisayon, and you might feel, how am I going to do this? And you might have a challenge. You might feel, how am I going to get there? I feel like I can't do it. Don't be oivei. Say, I'm ready to work. I got those early game jitters. I feel like, how am I going to play? Let's roll up my sleeves. Lilmoid, to learn. Ledaber im Hashem Yisbarach. Talk to God, a good pep talk. Hashem, I'm ready to do this. Whatever else is going to help. Everything is this internal recognition. Hashem Yisbarach imi, Hashem is with me. The Etzli, and he's next to me. Bidiyok, 100% Kimai B'Shabbos. And all the feelings of darkness, of difficulty, is what? Hirak misoyoin is all a test. What's the test for? Why am I lifting weights? To get stronger. What's the test for? Lehamik as an shali, to deepen my connection, to deepen my conviction, to strengthen my belief in God. Ve'ein kan hefsid, and there's no loss. Oirei or something empty. There's no distance. The lights are out. It's pitch black. I can't see my hand in front of my face. I can't feel the guy right next to me. Elakol, but it's there. All the light, the emes and the truth, the hadvekas and the connection shel Shabbos. Mamshicha b'yeser says, Gam yachzik is that's where you strengthen yourself. Shavodah zu shani mitamit mosai Shabbos mitzlachol. With this avodah, I want to lahamshich to continue lachzik b'emunah. B'zani matchel. With this, I'm beginning kvar achshav right now. Right now, Motzei Shabbos, as you light the match, what are we thinking? Es ha'achana l'Shabbos haba. I'm right now beginning preparing for next week. And you know what's going to happen if you do that? It's not going to be that you're going to fall all the way down and then find a way to come back up next Shabbos. You're going to find a way to continue. You might have a dip, but you know that you're going back to Shabbos. With this, you can live and strengthen yourself. To long for that light, the nifla shel Shabbos haba. And as we said many times, Shabbos is a mashal. As we spoke so many times, how a Talmid Chacham is called Shabbos. Because Shabbos is just the reality of living with Hashem, the highest level. So when we go from Shabbos to work day, from Shabbos to work week, we're going from a reality of a tangible ruchnius experience to a reality of darkness, of physicality. So in a way, this could be played out in any form of the world. This could be played out with maybe someone sits and he learns for an hour and he feels, wow, I'm gishmak. I learned, connected. And as he closes the sefer and he walks out of the shul, the base medrash, and he has to go tend to whatever physical needs he tends to, he feels that downer. And he feels the heaviness pulling him down. That's going from Shabbos to work week. Maybe someone has a moment that he davens properly, and then he finds out, the kid has this challenge. There's that health challenge. A friend has this. A family member has that. The parnasa is like this. And maybe at that moment he feels, I don't feel the connection. So again, he's going from Shabbos, from Ruchni, down to physical, down to lowness, down to darkness. So at that moment, we're learning an incredible tool. At the moment that the darkness hits, now what do we usually do? Before we open the sefer, what do we usually do? We wallow in our misery. We allow the darkness to consume us. And then by the time we wake up, metaphysically, by the time we open our eyes, we're so consumed by the emails, by the depression, by the problems, by the issues. It's like, oh, wait. And then maybe we'll search for Tehillim to try to do something. But we're so dark and low at that moment, it's so difficult to see Hashem. But in the opposite, if on the way out, if we realize this reality that he just taught us, if we realize that on Motzei Shabbos, that's a time that we know this happens. We know we're going from Shabbos to work week. And everyone in their own life knows there are times that they go from Ruchni to Gashmi. They know there are times that they get consumed and subsumed by the world around them. Those moments we make a decision that what? I'm a warrior. I'm a battler. I'm going to go out and I'm going to win. I could do it. How do I know I could do it? Because God believes in me. How do I know God believes in me? Because Hashem would never have given it to us if he didn't believe in us. No Nisayan is ever greater than us. That means I don't believe in me. I believe I'm walking into a heavyweight boxing match and I feel like I'm a little nothing. And the guy in the ring looks like, oh my, I can't beat this guy, David Goliath over here. But God believes that you could do it. So if Hashem believes that you're able to beat Goliath, you're sitting there puning away in the corner saying, what am I supposed to do? Slow down. Hashem believes in you. Hashem Yisbarach Itach, he's right there next to you. Strengthen yourself and realize, I could do it. Now what do? Talk to Hashem. Hashem, you put me here. Hashem, you believe in me. I don't know where my muscles are. I don't know where I'm going to do this. Well, you think I could run a marathon? God, I could barely walk the block. And you're giving me a marathon to run? Well, I guess Hashem, you're going to make my feet work. I guess you're going to give me the energy. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but you know what? Hashem, you're right there next to me. And Hashem, you're going to make it work. And if at that critical juncture, we remind ourselves and we remember, I could do it. You know why I could do it? Because Hashem believes I can do it. It transitions and it transforms everything. And most important is that line. Don't be nispoel from the feeling. Because it sounds all nice in text. And it sounds nice in base medrash. And maybe it sounds nice tonight. But you give it a day, 2, a week, and that feeling comes in. And when the feeling comes in of lowness, of darkness, you think, oh, I thought I had it. I thought I could do it. I can't. No, don't be nispoiled. Don't be bewildered. Why do I feel that way? No, that's normal. That's natural. We're Gashmias beings. We're physical beings. Let's remind ourselves of the process. Let's remind ourselves, I'm going from spiritual to physical. I'm going into darkness. The lights are turning out. It's getting darker and darker and darker and darker. The hand, I can't see it right in front of my face. The person right next to me, but Hashem is there. And he's holding my hand. And he believes in me. And he knows I can do it. So let me talk to him. Let me strengthen myself. Let me realize it's for this moment I was created. For this moment to try to get through this deep and dark moment. And then, b'siyata d'shmaya, Hashem will be there with you. And we'll be able, Emirz Hashem, to go to the next step of this incredible journey, Emirz Hashem.